Electro Wizard is going to be the most broken unit in the game if something is not done. Hey, what's going on, everybody? FullFrontage here today, bringing you all a Clash mini video. And in today's video, we're going to be going over the balance changes that will be coming out tomorrow. And I'm going to go through that. I'm going to leave them on screen. I'll also have tweeted them out and everything like that. So there's plenty of places to see them. But for the video, I'm going to read off the balance changes and then I'm going to share my thoughts. So let's start with the buffs and nerfs. So you can pause, you can read them on screen and skip through or whatever, or you can just listen and we'll talk about the balance changes. I'm going to read through all the balance changes and then I'll give my thoughts on them. So first up is the Electro Wizard. The attack speed per upgrade is going to increase to 0.15 from 0.1. The super ability is now going to hit one more target, so it'll hit 3 targets total. And then the first upgrade zap ability will strike up to 5 enemies. Next up, we have the Mega Knight, which I think is getting a buff. Its HP per upgrade is going to be reduced to 6 from 7. And then it's going to have its Skyfall initial range slightly increase. And then the second upgrade, the Skyfall range, is going to be largely increased. Now, I don't know what this means. We haven't seen any footage about it, but I'm just off of pure speculation. I think the Skyfall, the initial Skyfall range will be the what the large one is, and then the large one, the second upgrade, will be the entire board. That's just my thought. I don't know if that's true or not, but we'll see. Then the Witch, this is kind of getting a buff and a nerf. It's like a buff to the Witch, but also kind of a nerf to the Skeletons. So her base attack speed is going to be reduced to 0.6 from 0.65. The attack speed per upgrade is going to be increased to 0.1. Energy cost is going to be reduced to 3 from 4. The skeleton HP is going to be reduced to 2. The first upgrade increased the skeleton amount by 2. And then the second upgrade is going to skeletons gain 2 bonus HP. So kind of a nerf to the skeletons, but a buff to the Witch overall. So interested to see how this is going to play out. Pekka, its heavy blade trigger chance is going to be increased to 25% from 20%. The Healing Ranger base attack speed is going to be increased to 0.7 from 0.6, and the HP per upgrade is going to be increased to 1 from 0. Wizard is going to have a base HP of 5 from 4. Ice Wizard, same thing, going to have a base HP of 5 now. Spear Goblin's going to have its third upgrade nerfed. It's going to gain 70% of attack instead of 100% of attack for 6 seconds. The Archer first upgrade, the attack speed reduction from the first ability is going to be increased to 0.2 from 0.1. So once she has her 2 arrow shooting, they'll now attack slower. And then her third upgrade, the bonus attack speed is going to be reduced to 50% from 60%. However, the duration is going to be increased to 7 seconds instead of 6 seconds. So the third upgrade will be less speed, but it'll last longer. So it could be an interesting trade-off there. Might still leave the Archer somewhat viable, which is good. Then we have the Mini Pekka. This is getting a buff and a nerf. Its base HP is going to be increased to 9, but its base attack speed is going to be reduced to 0.4 seconds. So then the base, for the Skeleton King, this is getting a buff. The base attack speed is going to be increased to 0.45 seconds from 3.5 seconds. And then the energy cost is going to be reduced to 9 from 10, and it's going to have its super wind up and wind down increased slightly. So basically it's going to attack quicker and get its super off quicker in terms of energy and its actual ability to cast it. So that's really good. Wave Master is getting a slight buff here. The base attack speed is going to be increased to 0.7 from 0.6. And then it's fixed the bug of incorrect HP healing from Chaos Lovers. So that bug will be fixed. Wave Master will now heal the correct amount of hit points, which is great. And then for the Barbarian King, the energy cost is going to be increased to 9 from 8. So before this season, it was 10. During the season, it was 8. Now it's going to be increased to 9. And I think 9 seems like a pretty good middle ground for that. So now we're going to hop into the reworks. So let's talk about what the reworks are going to be. We're going to have the Royal Champion. This base attack speed is going to be increased to 0.75 from 0.7. Its super ability, which is going to be its level 1, is going to be Bouncing Shield. Throw a shield that deals 2 damage from 4, so it's getting nerfed. It'll stun the target for an increased amount of time of 1 second from 0.75 seconds, and gains 1 extra bounce. If it KOs an enemy, the energy will be restored. Its energy cost is going to be increased to 7 from 6, and its level 4 upgrade will now give the bouncing shield +2 damage. Dark Goblin, its base ability is going to be that it will be able to stack infinitely. Its new first star upgrade is going to increase the range from 3 tiles to infinite range, so it'll be able to attack from anywhere on the board. And then the third upgrade is going to be changed to deal 2 times damage against enemies with shield or block. The Royal Ghost, its Ghost Army, is now going to be its Clash ability. It'll make nearby allies invisible for 3 seconds instead of 4 seconds. Its new second upgrade is going to be, it's going to let it become invisible for 3 seconds after attacking 3 times. Royal Ghost will have its base HP increased to 6 from 4. Its HP per upgrade increased to 2 from 1. Its base attack speed is going to be reduced to 0.45 from 5. And its attack speed per upgrade is going to be increased to 0.15 from 0.1. Magic Archer is going to have a base attack speed increase to 0.45 from 3.35. Its new first upgrade is going to be after 2 attacks, the next attack will fire 3 arrows. Its new second upgrade is going to gain 50% attack for 6 seconds, 50% attack speed for 6 seconds, and that'll be able to stack up to 3 times. And then its new third star ability is it's going to have a Clash ability, which will give it invisibility for 6 seconds. The Battle Healer is going to have a new super called Healing Wave. Healing Wave range is going to be increased. The energy cost is going to be reduced to 4 from 7. The base attack speed is going to be increased to 0.65 from 0.6. The first upgrade is going to be Triage, will give Healing Wave +2 HP. And its new second upgrade is going to be Shining Plate. It'll be a Clash ability that gives nearby allies block for 4 seconds. So I'm going to assume that's kind of like the Barbarian, where it buffs it, where it gives itself the buff, and then it gives the units to its right and left the buff. So those are all the balance changes that are going to be coming. And now I'm going to talk about my concerns. First, we'll start with the good stuff. Overall, I think these changes are really good. I love all the reworks. I like the buffs. I like the nerfs. But there's 2 things that stand out to me. First, we'll talk about it because it's on this page. We'll talk about the Royal Champion. I feel like Royal Champion is actually getting a buff. People are calling that it needs a nerf, and I agree. I think it does need a nerf. So here's the problem that I have with it, and I've already addressed this to Supercell as well. They said they're going to continue to monitor it and see. So I'm curious to see what you guys think about this change. So its base attack speed is going to get an increase, so it'll attack quicker. Its stun for the shield is going to get an increase to 1 second from 0.75 seconds. So yes, the change does impact Royal Champion from level 1 to level 4. It introduces a new mechanic, Lonely. It doesn't seem like it's going to be a part of the Royal Champion's kit anymore. So, and then its energy cost is also getting increased, and then its level 4 upgrade gives it +2. So basically at level 4 and higher, the Royal Champion is going to stay the exact same, except it's getting a base attack speed increase. It'll stun you for 0.25 seconds longer, and it's going to cast it's going to take longer to cast its super, which means it has more chance to chain its shield, because the quicker it's able to get, or the longer it takes for it to get its initial super off, the more damage your units are going to do to the enemy, which means the Royal Champion will be able to start chaining it. So has an increased attack speed, will stun you for longer, and it does the exact same thing. So in my opinion, Royal Champion is actually getting a buff from this, and a pretty good one at that. It's going to change it at level 1 to 4, sure, but that doesn't change it for level 4 to 10. So that, in my opinion, is not great. I'm not thrilled about it. I'm happy to be wrong. If I'm wrong and it is okay after this, then great. But I just feel like it doesn't fix the problem. Then let's talk about, on the buffs and nerfs pages, the Electro Wizard. Upon release, if you played the game when it first went into beta, we all know Electro Wizard was very strong and broken. Electro Wizard is now even more strong than it was upon release, and I'm going to tell you why. So its attack speed per upgrade is going to be increased to 0.15 from 0.1. It currently has an attack speed of 0.7. So when you upgrade it to level 2, or when you upgrade it 2 times, it will have a 1 hit per second attack speed. The first upgrade is now changing where it'll strike up to 5 enemies. You can have 6 total units on your board. The Electro Wizard will now be able to stun 5 of them. You're going to upgrade your I'm going to give you a scenario. You're going to upgrade your Electro Wizard to 2 stars. It's going to be the first star and the third star ability. So now you'll stun enemies. Be able to stun 5 enemies. And its third star ability allows you to stun enemies for an additional 3 seconds. Currently, it stuns somewhere between like 1 and 2 seconds. I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head, but let's say it's 1 second for the sake of this scenario. It currently stuns for 1 second. Once you give it that third star upgrade, it'll now stun for an additional 3 seconds, which means it stuns for 4 seconds. It takes 4 energy for the Electro Wizard to cast its super, which means it takes 4 shots to cast its super, then it will be able to cast the super. It takes, when you're upgrading it, you now have 1 hit per second. It'll take you 4 seconds to charge your super and then cast your super, which takes an additional like 1.5-ish second. So, with that being said, you'll be able to stun 5 enemies every 4 seconds, and they get stunned for 4 seconds. Which means you're going to be, your team will be in an infinite stun lock, and if they're not stun locked, then they're getting stunned every other, you have 1 second in between stuns to actually get something off, because the Electro Wizard takes a couple seconds to actually cast its super. So, you have like 2 seconds to get something off before the Electro Wizard just completely destroys you. That's a huge problem. The fact that you can stun 5 out of 6, you have to make it to that far, right? To upgrade the Ewiz, and then also to, well, unless you get to round 2 and you just upgrade the Ewiz immediately, you're stunning their entire team. You are able to get your super every 4 seconds, and then you stun them for 4 seconds. So while they're stunned, you're recharging your super, and by the time they're unstunned, you're already casting another super. That is a huge, huge problem. I really hope I'm wrong, but Electro Wizard is going to be the most broken unit in the game if something is not done.